After 9 years of injustice, the wrongdoing continues in Iruña Veleia. Do you want to know what is going on? The Lurmen Group, directed by Eliseo Gil and Idoia Filoy, discovered on the site of Iruña Veleia 400 graffitis from the Roman times, including words in Basque and Latin languages and many other rare drawings. For 3 years, 4 professors of the University of the Basque Country supported their authenticity. But after one of them, Enrique Genner, passed away, the other 3 changed their minds at the same time and declared them to be false. The Council of Araba could have followed 3 ways in order to clarify the situation: determine the age of the graffiti in prestigious European laboratories, obtain control samples of them, or audit the archaeological work. Eliseo Gil proposed to determine the age of 100 of the graffiti and obtain some control samples, but his proposal was rejected. The only thing the court ordered was to undergo an analysis of the graffiti by the Institute of Spanish Cultural Heritage, with a microscope specifically bought for that purpose. The result was not reliable at all. It said that the graffiti were false because they had remains of molten metals on the surfaces and not below them. These metals usually appear in every graffiti since they are cleaned with molten brushes. The internationally well-known archaeologist Edward Harris came to Vitoria-Gasteiz and studied the work done by Eliseo's team and assured that it had been correctly conducted. He was surprised that the age of the graffiti had not been determined and that no auditing had been done. He was also concerned that the graffiti were not held in court and thought that this fact was enough to drop the case. Furthermore, there has been an important scientific debate, and even if at the beginning there were 6 reports supporting that the graffiti were false, in the end, more than 25 reports refuted 95% of the arguments used by those initial reports and defended the authenticity of the graffiti. Under these 400 graffiti, we have some incalculable treasures: 85 words in Basque, far more than 5 words that appear in San Millán de la Cogolla, and moreover 8 centuries before them. The first cavalry of the Christianity, which could be previous to the ones of Rome. An inscription with the word Nefertiti not written in pictograms, which would be the most ancient in the world. And Our Father in Basque, older than the one in Spanish and coetaneous with the one in Latin. Therefore, asking someone to háblame en cristiano does not make sense, neither ethically or historically. A drawing of the Last Supper, which could be the oldest one in the world. One of the episodes could be Maria Magdalena. It is drawn in a clayboard, the age of which could be easy to determine. A museum with a graffiti in Iruña Veleia would be relevant enough to be the most important one about Basque language, history, and archaeology in the Basque Country. However, the Department of Archaeology of the University of the Basque Country has introduced a bulldozer in the place where all these treasures were found in order to destroy the excavation site with the consent of the Council of Araba and most of the political parties and media. It would seem that 2 professors with higher influence in the field of Basque philology cannot update Goldo Michelena's theories. They have preferred to defend the status quo rather than accepting the new discoveries, since the information we obtain from this graffiti is incompatible with some aspects of their theories. For example, the Old Basque language had grammatical articles much earlier than what was considered by Goldo Michelena. Lorena López de la Calle and Rafael La Reina are members of the Opus Dei. Lorena fired Eliseo Gil when she was a congresswoman in Araba, and presented a complaint before the judge. The Opus Dei dislikes the fact that some of the information obtained in the graffiti goes against many previously believed issues in Christianity. What once happened in Altamira is occurring again in Iruña Veleia. Then the church claimed that the paintings of Altamira were false, and they troubled Marcelino Sanz de Sautuola for 17 years, until he died. On the other hand, the graffiti would prove that the theory of the late Vasconización is false. We should protect the graffiti of Iruña Veleia and do justice for the group of archaeologists of Lurmen.